Okay, I wanted to go over some top 5 tips that pro players do that you probably don't. And these are some quick 5 attacking tips that you can help integrate into your play. Thank you very much, Wicked Wednesdays, for showing the gameplay. And the first I wanted to go over is one you just saw, is the first time lob through ball. Now, it's been nerfed, but the more extreme angles are still enough, but the ones that are very simple, like for example like these, are very much more viable, and you can see Mia Hamm does it. The key one with this, I'm just going to analyze this and give you just the brief example here. The key one with this is when the ball is given, do you see, look at Mbappe, you see Mbappe, it's all about the timing, but you see there's one thing that all these top tier players do that a lot of people think they do that they don't, and that is triggering the run before the ball arrives. You see, a lot of people, what they do is when the ball is already traversing, for example like here, a lot of people, they trigger the player to run now. But you can see before the ball has even arrived, you see Stingray, watch this, before the ball arrives, the ball gets played back in, he wins the ball with his CDM or centre mid. Then watch, as soon as he gets the ball here with Bruno Fernandes, he's pushing down on the left analog stick and he's pressing the L1 button, so he's saying, not Mia Hamm, by moving the left analog stick to the bottom left, he's saying, I want you, Mbappe, to make a run. That way Mbappe starts making a run now, and then when he gets the ball, it's just a first time L1 triangle over the top. Now, why this is important is because this allows the striker or the winger, whoever it is, to break the line and gives it no reaction time for your opponent. You can see what the opponent here tried to do, Christoboa, he tried to do offside trap, but you can see when timing is done correctly, it's very, very hard. You can see if the offside trap was going to happen, it should have happened a bit earlier now. But you can see even with that slight delay, it's all about the timing. And you can see he's then through on goal on a complete 1v1. So one top tip to take away from this is always time your L1 triggers before the ball arrives to your feet, and go for those first time L1 triangles over the top. Especially if your timing is perfect, it's one of the best ways to get through. Do you want to get better at FC25? Now, before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you join my FC school and you didn't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say this because I've been running my FC school for many, many years, and thousands of students join and even stay on. We go over complete in-depth gameplay tutorials showing you both the theory of something and the gameplay examples using real-life examples in a structured format that's like a course. The videos are on a systematic learning system teaching you everything from the core mechanics, the basics, to the meta, so you can get better as a whole, with explanations that go beyond the scope of my YouTube channel. FC School has already started with every single tactical layout, focuses, meta cards, and learn the meta before it even becomes the meta. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FC25, patreon.com/nilguides, or click the link down below. Now, when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos, more than my YouTube channel, in fact, with new videos on FC25 getting constantly added, so you'll never run out of content. The biggest mistake people do is they spend thousands of dollars on FP points every year, thinking this will make them better, but it won't. But now it's time for you to make that change. Don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, just send me a message and I'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guides guarantee. Links down below in the description, patreon.com/nilguides. Now, the second thing a lot of pro players are doing are first time power shots. Now, of course, if you've got someone who's got the power shot playstyle plus, it can be very effective. You might have seen this in my finishing video, the importance of power shots. So they've not nerfed this now in the patch. So you can see a video on this if you're part of my Patreon series very, very soon on how to actually do this perfect this. But what they do is they pass the ball to someone like Valverde, and as you can see, Valverde has the power shot plus playstyle, and what they do is they hold the L1 plus R1 plus the shoot button and aim the left analog stick. So you can see Valverde. Now, of course, this takes manual aim, but you can basically have like a manual bullet shot at any point. Now, you want to have someone like Valverde who's got the power shot plus playstyle. Someone like Rashford is a cheap option, and you can see the ball gets laid off, and then with Valverde, the ball gets smacked into the corner. Now, if you can green time this, even better. On this occasion, it doesn't go in, but you can see how it's used. The ball gets laid off to someone, for example, ideally a center mid here, and you do a first time power shot. All you have to do is aim it. Another Nil Guys top tip is if you struggle to aim your power shots, because don't forget, when you use your left analog stick, the aiming is manual. Aim towards the goalkeeper and then just slightly move your left analog stick to the left or to the right. That will be my best step. So actually aim at the goalkeeper. That way you keep the shot on target, and then move the left analog stick slightly to the left or to the right. That way you can keep it on target and get it into the corners. So first time power shots, of course, very effective as well. The third one I wanted to go over is making use of Vergo Van Dijk. Now, of course, you need Vergo Van Dijk to do this, but Vergo Van Dijk is one of the best and easiest ways to get goals. Now, as I said, this is the kind of player that can win you both games and save you from the defensive ROPs. Now, what you can do is, Regular players, what you could do is you can move Vergo Van Dijk, for example, to the near post and cross the ball and then header the ball. Because of how tall Vergo Van Dijk is and with his play styles, he can header the ball into the back of the net. But you can see what's done over here, what Levy does, very, very smart, is he passes the ball short, then he player locks to choose Vergo Van Dijk, and then he brings him. And don't forget, with the aerial plus, he could just leap like a giant in the air. And you can see then cause a stingray to concede the goal. So if you're up against this, just find Vergo Van Dijk. You can see on the pro level, bit more of deception, but you can see all you got to do is get Vergo Van Dijk on the cross near post, and it's going to be a goal. Make use of the player lock. If you got Vergo Van Dijk in your team, it's probably going to be an easy goal. You can do it with any other play. You can even do it with Peter Crouch if you have Peter Crouch on your team. If you have someone like that with an aerial plus, someone's very, very tall, but he's got someone like Vergo Van Dijk, even better. You can just use them in the game. In fact, I showed us another example here with Stoke and Tex. You can see the same thing here, using Vergo Van Dijk to get the header, and this time it's saved by Van der Sar. And you can see on the second occasion, same thing again, Vergo Van Dijk is selected, and this time fortunately gets a bit of luck on Stokes' side and gets the goal. But you can just see, for example, how overpowered it is. This is one of those cards that can basically not only help you, as I said, defensively to get that goal, but it can help you the win. Again, you can see, look, and you're wondering exactly where he aims the corner. Is just on the right-hand side of the penalty spot, left it on default. He selects Vergo Van Dijk and literally just running then to the near post, delivering it, and then taking that shot. Very easy of getting that header and getting that goal. Now, the fourth thing I wanted to go over is precision lob passes. Now, I talked about this being the meta last year, and you don't even need to put your actual lob pass on semi anymore because of the new precision lob pass. Now, all you got to do is you hold the R1 button and then you hold your lob button. So by default, it should be, I believe it's square. Now, this allows you to manually aim your lob pass. Now, I explained why this was a meta last year. And in fact, I thought all the pro players would be using it last year, but they're using it more this year. You can make those deadly passes in behind with a lob through ball. But the reason why I'm talking about it is because sometimes when you do an L1 triangle or you do a lob pass, sometimes the game could screw you over and your opponent can get the ball and win the ball off you. You don't want that. The benefit of precision lob pass is that with your left analog stick, you aim where you want the ball to go. So the onus is put on yourself. So at least if you make a mistake, it's your fault, but the game doesn't screw us. So if you ever have to make a pass and lob the ball to one of these players, just press the R1 plus square button, aim your left analog stick into the direction that you want the ball to go to, and that way you can guarantee the pass without the game screwing you over. So if you want to make a pass, for example, let's just say here, you want to do, for example, a lob pass in this region, you can aim it and you can do it there. And that way the game doesn't screw over. Because sometimes we all know when you get the ball with this player and you try to lob it to that player, sometimes your opponent can intercept the pass. But with a precision lob pass, you're basically guaranteeing a stopping the pass every single time. Check out my precision lob pass tutorial from last year. Just type in FC25 precision lob pass tutorial no gals on YouTube and you should find that video. And the last thing I wanted to go over, something very, very simple, is doing those ball roll passes. Now, ball roll passes are very, very beneficial. When you're trying to build up inside the play, a simple ball roll can really, really help you, not only to keep the ball close to you, but also to find that passing lane. I'm just going to show you an example of where ball rolls can be used, but you can see, for example, like here, all these pro players are using the ball roll to keep the ball close towards them and sometimes to create those angles as well. So when you are trying to make that pass, you can see a bit of unlucky BS there from the game. I hope very, very soon they fix that. But you can use ball rolls to create those angles for you when you're trying to pass. You can see when you're trying to build up, trying to wait for those movements, trying to wait for that exact moment, all takes precision and timing. I'm just going to go back here to the point when the pass was made at this point. Now, maybe you could argue not the best of examples, but you can see, for example, like here, the ball, when we go back here in this previous example, at this point, the ball roll, and don't forget, the ball roll is to hold the right analog stick either up or down. Don't forget, it's relative to which way you're facing. Because the players are shooting from left to right, that way you move the right analog stick, you hold it either up for 1 second or down for 1 second. You can't flick it, you want to hold it for a second. And you can see what this does is, if there's someone next to you, you can do a ball roll and keep the ball away, push the ball safe. And you can see the opponent there did a mistake by doing the ball roll into the opponent, but sometimes you can glitch past. But what it can be useful for, let's say, for example, there's someone in this angle. We know how bad left analog stick is. I'm just going to go back to this exact time frame. Let's say you want to make this pass. Sometimes the game might make the pass with the wrong foot, or when you move the left hand, it's a bit clunky. But when you do a ball roll, you can automatically face your player head on, and that way you can then make the pass into direction with the player's strong foot. And that's one of the key benefits of the ball roll, and also keeps your opponent guessing. Another quick tip of the ball roll is, let's say, for example, there's someone over here and you want to pass the ball from player 1 to player number 2. Sometimes when you make that pass, it's going to get, well, it's probably going to intercept it every single time. But what you can do is you can do a left stick and then make a pass, but then your opponent may read it. But by doing a ball roll, either to the left or to the right, you actually open the angle up, and thus you can then pass the ball around them. Another nil guy's top trip is doing a Trivela pass, like an L2 plus triangle, or a Trivela through ball, to get the ball to curve around. But you see, the key thing is that ball roll opens up the angle, and sometimes you can force the pass on your stronger foot. So if you really want to make that guaranteed pass, or let's say, for example, there's someone cutting the passing lane out, a ball roll can be very, very effective. Anyways, I hope this top 5 tips helped you. These are just some quick tips that pro players do all the time, but they do it on a recurring basis. It's not enough for you just to watch the video and just do it once. Practice this, because once you perfect this, remember, the pros know the fundamentals still at a very high level. They abuse the game, of course, but that's their job. But don't get me wrong, if they were told they could have to play basic football, they're still going to win all these games. They have such a high level of fundamentals. They just use these small things to abuse the game. But if you use them in the same way, you can take your skill gap to another level. It's all about learning these small things, adding it to your gameplay. If you want to see more top tips like this, come to my Patreon, patreon.com/nilguides. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money, or you can click here. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.